It's another week in Pioneer Athletics. Hello everyone, and we welcome you into the Pioneer Weekly Recap and Preview Show. I'm Brian Staten. Thanks for staying with us. Pioneer basketball teams go a combined 3-1 last week. They've got a huge week going on this week. The women go 1-1 with wins against the Lenore Bears and a loss against the Newberry Wolves. Meanwhile, the men pick up 2 wins against those same 2 teams. So this week, road trip to Wise, Virginia for the first time since 2003 for the men. The women have been there are a little bit more recent than the Tusculum men, but at first time as South Atlantic Conference opponents in Wise, Virginia. And then on Saturday, as they'll be hosting Alumni Weekend against the Queens Royals. Now, if you have not put in for the Alumni Weekend, please let us know that you're going to be here so that we can recognize you, feed you, give you a nice little gift bag, and recognize you during some of the games as well. We'd love to have all our alumni back for Pioneer basketball, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, manager at one point, whatever it may have been. Just let us know that you're going to come back on campus and be here this coming Saturday, Tusculum versus Queens in the in Pioneer Arena. We'll have a full day scheduled for you, and it will last throughout the entire day. So please let us know that you'll be back and visiting campus. For the Pioneers, some of the winter sports that are still going on, men's volleyball. Seems like it's been going on forever. They've been on the road forever, but they actually just went off to the Midwest to start this really long road trip and road swing. They go 0-2 in the Midwest, where they will now be traveling to the East Coast to take on George Mason and Charleston in the upcoming weekend. They won't be back at home until February 29th. To stay up with the latest for the men's volleyball team, please visit online through TusculumPioneers.com. Tennis team gets off to a quite chilly start. Actually, it's not been that type of a really cold winter, I guess you could say, but the Pioneers travel to take on nationally ranked Indianapolis, strong team to open nationally, obviously. The men fall to 12th ranked Indianapolis, the women fall to 17th ranked Indianapolis this past weekend. Got a busy schedule coming up, and they got a lot to answer for, I should say, and a lot of hopes going into the spring season as well. The latest, visit online, stay up with your social media apps through Tusculum or through online at TusculumPioneers.com. Julie Huebner is opening up as the only coach to open up the season at 4-0 on multiple times. So congratulations to Coach Huebner. Her team is now 4-0 for the 5th time, really, for this Pioneer team in school history. They will host Davis and Elkins coming up this week, so best of luck to them as well. And baseball opens up their Florida swing. They go 1-3 to open up on the Florida swing. They actually finished their game against Palm Beach Atlantic, which they had started, and then because of rain couldn't finish, so they decided, you know what, we're going to play at 6 o'clock on Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, I bet the officials were extremely thrilled about the fact that they were going to open up that. But actually, they got the game done really quickly. And before anybody had scored on the Super Bowl, basically the game had been over. Either way, Pioneers open up 1-3 as they will be getting ready to take on Belmont Abbey this weekend. And speaking of baseball, congratulations to Jaden Stiegel. He has been named the AstroTurf South Atlantic Conference Player of the Week. Sophomore from Georgia had an outstanding opening weekend. He went .750 at the plate, a double, a home run, drove in 7 as he collected multiple hits in 3 of Tusculum's games over the weekend, including going 4 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBI and 4 runs scored against Lynn University. Pioneers in a game that saw, 5 grand slams in a game? Something along those lines. Just a tremendous offensive game. But congratulations to Jaden Stiegel being named the AstroTurf South Atlantic Conference Baseball Player of the Week. And for the first time since 2013, softball has a Player of the Week. Congratulations to Anna Alloway. She earns the announcement this week. In the 4 wins, the junior utility player finished batting .700, on-base percentage .824, slugged 1.3. The Louisville, Tennessee native totaled 8 runs scored, 8 runs batted in, 7 hits, 7 walks, 3 doubles, and a home run. And in the series with Converse, she walked twice in both contests. In Game 1, she also had 2 hits, a double, scored a pair, brought in a run. Second half of the doubleheader included a 3-run home run as her lone hit and run. She also used one of her walks to add to her 4th RBI of the game. The Pioneers have started the season at 4-0, as mentioned, just for the 5th time in school history. They look to tie the record at 6-0 when they face the Senators of Davis and Elkins this weekend. Congratulations, though, to Anna Alloway becoming the first the AstroTurf South Atlantic Conference Softball Player of the Week since 2013. Indoor track and field, Hashlane Pettit was phenomenal this weekend as well, as she earns the AstroTurf South Atlantic Conference track athlete of the week. She broke a pair of South Atlantic Conference records over the weekend at the Carolina Challenge hosted by South Carolina. She ran 57.05 in the 400 meters Friday to break the previous conference record of 57.13 set last year in the conference championship. She also broke the school record 57.22 set by Regine Minus. Saturday, Pettit ran the 4x400 meter relay and helped the Pioneers to a conference record time of 3:51, besting the old mark of 3:52. She also broke the school record of 3:53 as well. Out of France, she has set the school record in the 800 meters at the ETSU Invitational as well, as she has continued to set records this season. Congratulations to Hashelaine Pettit, our AstroTurf indoor track and field athlete of the week. Once again, just a phenomenal week for the Pioneers individually, and we really haven't even got into the whole grasp of the spring sports competition just yet, as lacrosse golf really has yet to get going. Brings us to our Zaxby's Athletes of the Week. Congratulations to a couple of individuals who had a phenomenal week, and we'll follow up with Hashelaine Pettit and start there. Again, she set the school records in the 800 meters back at the ETSU Invitational. What she has done this past week, earning the AstroTurf Track Athlete of the Week. Trenton Gibson, haven't talked about him a lot unless you go and watch the show with Pioneer coach J.T. Burton. Averaged 21 points a game this past week, while the Pioneers went 2-0 against two of the hottest teams in the league, Lenore-Ryan and Newberry. Last year's Freshman of the Year put in 26 against LR. He followed that with 16 points in the win against Newberry on Saturday as the Pioneers get the 13th win of the season. Congratulations to Trenton Gibson, Hashelaine Pettit for earning the Zaxby's Athletes of the Week. And that leads us to the end of the month of January, and our Athletes of the Month brought to you by Applebee's, and a guy who has been phenomenal all season and somebody who has just been lights out as an athlete here at Tusculum, as a soccer player and especially as a cross-country player and track. That would be Nicole McMillan for track, cross-country, and for soccer, and for Brandon Mitchell for the men's basketball team. Mitchell, the junior out of Virginia Beach, averaged 12 points, 9.5 rebounds, 3 block shots a game for the month, and 4 of his team-leading 6 double-doubles came in the month of January, including an 18-point, 17-rebound game in a win against Anderson, which was a career high. He has been on a tear of late, especially defensively, and playing above the rim as well. And good to see him playing with that confidence. Get your next chance to see him play this week against UVA-Wise and Queens. Meanwhile, Nicole McMillan set 2 conference records for provisionally qualifying for the indoor track and field championship, both in the 3,000 and 5,000 meters coming up. She won the 5,000 meters at the Gamecock opener at the campus of University of South Carolina. She ran a 17:01 to break her own school record of 18:20. She ran a 17:01 to break her own school record of an 18:20. Which means that's phenomenal, which means she's probably sprinting, which is something that I haven't been able to do in 30 years. She is doing that job also at the 3,000 meters, a time of 9:39, breaking her own previous record of 10:01, which means she's really putting in the effort and getting the job done for the Pioneer indoor track and cross-country teams, because she did that in cross-country, indoor track and field, and will be doing that outside as well. McMillan has been phenomenal throughout her Pioneer career running, and also on the soccer field. And Brandon Mitchell, 2 well-deserved Athletes of the Month presented by Applebee's. Well, that'll bring us to our time this week. You can always follow online through TusculumPioneers.com to get up with the latest and read the final stories and get into a little bit in deeper conversation with maybe some family members on what teams are doing what here at Tusculum as well, because you'll find lots of nuggets in the stories that are written about these individual players and teams as well. And remember, we don't have all the spring sports going in full motion just yet, but that is coming, and that is coming very quickly. For the latest, you can always visit online. Follow your social media apps and online through TusculumPioneers.com. For everybody involved with the Pioneer Sports Network, I'm Brian Staten. Until next time, go Pioneers.